What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Today's episode is going to be about, does a narcissist love themselves, or does a narcissist hate themselves? How does the narcissist really feel about themselves? And coming from my own personal journey, like I said, I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist. I've been in therapy. I've been in psychotherapy for the last, since 2017, right? So coming from my own personal perspective, do I love myself? I feel like I love myself for what I am, but I also understand the fact that I will never be enough, or that, like, to my own standards. You know, I feel like most narcissistic people have this love-hate relationship with themselves, where they love, sometimes they love the lifestyle that they have, they love the life that they have, but internally, it's not enough. You know what I mean? So it's like nothing will ever be enough for a narcissistic person. So me, myself, do I love myself? It's kind of like I go back and forth. Like, I don't feel like I'm enough. And that's what causes a lot of narcissists to not settle down in life. They keep moving forward, wanting more, needing more, because we feel like we're not enough. Like, nothing we do will ever be enough. So how can I just know a lot of narcissistic people could feel that way. You know, like I said, me, I struggle with it, y'all. Self-love is almost, I just feel like self-love is damn near impossible for narcissistic people. I just feel like that's what it is, because we have a problem validating ourselves. So it's hard to say you love yourself when you can't validate yourself. You can't really seriously validate yourself. You know, so it's hard to say, hey, look, I love myself, but I can't validate myself. I love myself, but I don't have self-love. Those sound like contradicting statements. Those statements feel like and sound like they don't match up. So with being a narcissist, like, that's why I'm always trying to go for more, because I know it just feels like nothing I do will ever be enough, and nothing will feel like, it's like emptiness. It just feels like sometimes I do feel empty sometimes. Sometimes I feel full, but then immediately I feel like it's kind of like somebody like pops the cork on the bottom of the barrel and it starts leaking out and I'm empty again. That happens so much with a lot of narcissistic people, because that's literally the mindset we have sometimes. Like, we will never be enough. So how can anybody ever love me if I'll never be enough? I can't validate myself, so why would anybody else validate me? I can't love so that's why most narcissists, if not all narcissists, seek outer validation, which I'll call supply or whatnot. We seek validation from others because we damn near, we need it. I hate to say it, but like we need that validation from other people, because we don't get it from us. We don't get it from me. I can't get it from myself. So I'm trying to get it from other people. Like, that's why me personally, I do it through social media and through try to be successful in my life and other ventures. Because before I was successful on social media, I was narcissistic robot resetting. Powered back up. I had to power down for a minute. I feel like I'm talking too fast and I'm getting ahead of my thoughts. So we have a problem with inner validation. We can't validate ourselves, so we seek it from the outside world. So it just lends to the fact that, you know, I just can't validate myself. So I feel like I really can't love myself to the full extent that I deserve to love myself. Which I'm telling you, most narcissistic people struggle with that. I know you look online and see a lot of people just out forward and out front say narcissists hate themselves. Not all the time. Is that true sometimes? Yes, but I feel like a lot of people hate themselves sometimes. Narcissistic people is back and forth, like, consistently, day in, day out. Like, I achieved this goal, but it's never enough. So I hate myself because it's never enough. Because even though I achieved this goal, it's still not enough to satisfy me, to make me, myself, personally happy. So even though I've done this, I still don't feel right. You know what I mean? Even though I've achieved this, I still don't feel like it's enough. Like, I don't think, me personally, I don't think I will ever be enough, no matter what I do, no matter how many people I help. Because for every 100 people I help, that one that I don't help, that goes back to the toxic relationship, it ends up in a terrible situation, or it makes their situation worse, that affects me more. Because I feel like, yeah, I helped 100, but that one person that didn't listen, that didn't heed, what could I have done more? I'm not enough. I can't help I just, you know, even though I helped 100 people, I can't, that one person I didn't help, and that means more. Like, I'm a failure. And I just started to beat myself up. I hate myself because I couldn't help that one person. But that's what therapy helps me with, y'all, because I can't blame myself for, you know, I blame myself a lot, you know, but like therapy helps me deal with that. Just like, you know, I have to let people lead themselves. I can't control everything. A lot of narcissistic people, most narcissists, have problems with controlling things. We are very, very controlling people, you know. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person, you ask them, do you love yourself? Ask them. Go up to them and ask them. So of course, y'all, use discretion, because I know sometimes you came in, you don't even feel comfortable talking to your person. So use discretion, of course, but ask the person that you're with, do you love yourself? See what they say. If they hesitate, that's your answer. Any hesitation is your answer. Do you love yourself? Yeah, I love myself. What? Huh? Yes, I love myself. But if they hesitate, I just feel like that's their conscience talking to them. Do I love myself? It's a critical thinking question. It's like, do I love me? It's not, you know, do I love me? Dang. And it makes people think, because my therapist asked me that. She's like, do you love yourself? I was just like, and I hesitated. And she's like, why you hesitate? It's like, because I'm telling the truth in therapy. Y'all told her, I was like, look, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I hate myself sometimes when I achieve a goal and it's not enough, but I love myself because I achieved that goal. So it's like dueling within myself. Because I'm self-aware, it's like the duel is louder. You can hear the swords clanging. You know what I mean? Like cling, cling, cling. You know, it's like a dueling. I'm dueling myself. Like the part of me that loves me is fighting the part of me that hates me. And sometimes the part of me that hates me wins, strikes down the part of me that loves myself. So I need to do, when that part wins, the part that I hate, the part of me that hates myself or doesn't like myself or is not proud of myself or whatever, the part that can't validate myself, I go out, like when that part wins, I have to go out and get validation from the outside world. I just do. And I think a lot of people do that. We have this inner turmoil, this inner dilemma. Like, that's why you see a lot of narcissistic people, not all of them, but you see a lot of narcissistic people that get married and start cheating because they feel like it's not enough. It's like, okay, I'm married and I'm settled down. Like, why? You hate yourself for settling down a lot of times. You know, this is not my personal story. I've talked to other narcissistic people. You know, I've talked to a lot of survivors that say the same exact thing. Their mindset works the same way. You know what I mean? So do narcissists love themselves? That's a good question. Both yes and no. I don't feel like they love themselves enough to feel like that they're deserving of love. Because that's one thing I think I struggle with myself. And a lot of narcissists as well struggle with, like, am I deserving of love? You know, do I deserve the love that I'm trying to seek out? You know, am I worthy of love? How could somebody love me? This is my thought process. This is my mind. How could somebody ever love you for the mess you are? You're not enough. You haven't hit the goals that you wanted to hit. Even when you hit those goals, you're not happy. So how could somebody love somebody that can't be happy? And there go the part of me that hates myself, striking down the part of me that loves myself. And I know I had to step back, y'all, so y'all can see the Reptar shirt. I had to rock that Reptar so y'all can see it and whatnot. But yeah, the part of me that loves like it's an inner duel, and most narcissists have that duel with themselves. We just do. Like, it's a battle. It is a battle. Vulnerable, trying to be vulnerable, fighting yourself. Like, I just feel like I love myself situationally, you know. But I understand, like, where it's coming from, y'all, because a lot of this self-doubt and ability to validate yourself is taken away from you in childhood through traumatic experiences. You go through a lot of trauma in situations like that where it's taken away from you and you can't heal. It sucks. You can't heal. You don't heal from your childhood trauma. You bring it into your adulthood and you take it out on the people around you. So people that love themselves don't need to treat people terribly, y'all. So I feel like also that's a situation right there that you have to ask yourself. Someone that truly loves themselves does not need to take their anger, frustration, and rage with themselves out on other people. They don't need to project their anger and hatred of themselves onto other people. You see what I'm saying? They don't need to project their lack of self-love onto other people. And I know people are going to say, well, narcissists, they take care of themselves. They, are very, very vain people. They're very, this people, they're this and they're that. There's a difference between being vain and actually loving yourself. There's a big difference between vanity and loving yourself. Because if you love yourself, you can go out the house with a messy bun or, if you love yourself, you can go out the house looking any way you want to and feel comfortable in your own skin. As a narcissist, because a lot of narcissistic people lack that self-love component, they need to be vain to go out into the world to protect them, to protect the inner self, to protect the inner child that was damaged, the trauma that we went through and things like that made us who we are. It's tough, y'all. It really is a tough situation to deal with, trying to find out who I am. And it's a battle inside my mind. You know, I know I went on a kind of a tangent this episode. But yeah, I just feel like life is kind of crazy like that. Do narcissistic people love themselves? Do they hate themselves? I feel like it's going in and out. I feel like it depends on the day. You know what I mean? So I feel like you have to stand in your truth, stand in your power, and whatever you do, y'all, take your power back, stand in your truth, and then, you know, whatever. So I had to hop off this thing, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode. I really, truly appreciate every single one of y'all, because as much as y'all learn from me, I promise you I learn even more from y'all. Thank you. And like always, like and subscribe for more. Turn on those notifications if you haven't already. If you're on my podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel and whatnot. Thank you. Mental Healness is out. Peace.